Welcome to Movie of the Year, the only podcast that has the science and the screaming to unequivocally figure out what the best movie is of any given year. This season we're digging into 2002, and tonight we're taking 32 movies down to the Elite 8 that will go on to compete for the rest of the season. I'm your host for the season, Mike Gravagna, and with me is Greg.
Hello, it's me, Greg. I'm here.
Greg, you're here, and you're ready to chop shit up.
I'm ready to talk about the movies of 2002 and chop it up conversationally.
And here also to do those same things and maybe more is Ryan.
We have to say goodbye to 24 of these movies. Like, based on the last episode that we did last week, do you guys think that this is an incredible year or like high floor, low ceiling, or high ceiling, low floor? Like, are you guys jacked for this?
I'm jacked.
Yes.
I think it's strong year. When I looked at all the movies, when I looked at like all of them, you know, before the show to see what we might be talking about, I was like, oh, there's some good ones on this. But as the matchups have come up, it's been like, oh no, wait, there's some like real awesome choices this time around. And that's hard on us. We would rather have a bunch of slam dunks.
Yes. And even when it's not good quality, so many memories are tied to this part of a young man's life.
Yeah,
you guys were both having sex at this point. I was not yet, but dreaming of it
with other people. Yeah, but we were also going to the movies and just hopping all day. So we'd see like 5 movies, and I'd sleep for 2 of them.
Oh, you got to pick one movie to just totally conk out for.
I know, but you know what? One of the hops we were doing, not of this year, of a different year, I ended up sleeping through Iron Giant. Whoops.
Oh.
Mess up. That was a major mess up.
What movie did you stay awake for that you wish you'd flip-flopped?
Out to Sea.
What is Out to Sea?
It's a fucking Mathau Lemon joint.
No.
Like Grumpier Old Men at Sea.
A better title.
I love it. That is a better title. Well, that's not what we'll be talking about tonight. If you want to hear us take 64 movies down to the 32, go back and listen last week. But here are the ones that matter. Are you guys ready to dive right in now?
Let's do it, Mike.
I got to say, and I know my vote doesn't count. I've already been outvoted, but I'm not. I'm fucking nervous. I'm scared. Mike, I want that. We have producer Dave on an old school typewriter typing up all of the potential bonus shows. He should get his fucking fingies ready.
Yeah. I almost wish we gave out healthcare at Pop Filter because I know he's going to get carpal tunnel everywhere possible.
I mean, we have great healthcare, dental, and vision, but no fingy care.
We do not cover the phalanges here at Pop Filter.
This is fun. That was James Madison's typewriter.
What? Oh,
so
wow.
I think people will be really excited.
Dave, get the fuck off it. What are we doing here?
But no,
crystal.
Dave is a master typist. This is okay.
He is a master.
Okay. First battle. Battle of the Comic Book Titans. Spider-Man versus Blade 2.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. Mike, you want to make this a fucking bonus episode that does not get picked?
Dave, to the crystal typewriter.
I guess Blade 2 has some importance, but my God, what an important movie in my life. Do I even need to begin to talk about this?
No,
I will
we're moving
when
on.
when it's in the Elite 8.
Yeah, don't talk yet. All right, next up, 16th seed versus 17th seed. The Good Girl Ryan versus The Bourne Identity.
Ooh.
This feels like a hot Ryan on Ryan battle, does it not?
Here's what I'm thinking. Is that The Good Girl is timeless, so kick rocks. And The Bourne Identity was very important to this era.
It's hard, though. What's going to be the better show? Good Girl or Bourne Identity?
Still probably Bourne Identity, honestly.
Yeah, it's going to be fun
because we'll be like, remember when he was like, oh,
remember when he like parkoured over the parked car?
Man.
Julia Stiles is in these movies.
Did you guys think that we would get this good at parkour just after watching that movie?
Yes.
No, I definitely did not, especially after I twisted my ankle that bad.
The people who are not in the studio, Greg is wearing a lav mic because he is parkouring all over the studio.
I'm just
right now.
always parkouring.
The most impressive thing is not just the sweet moves you have, but the breath control.
Oh, yeah. Well,
It sounds like you're sitting in a chair.
yeah, it sounds like I'm sitting very, very still.
All right.
Parkour.
Bourne Identity moves on. Next up, your 8th seed is Lilo and Stitch versus your 40th seed, Talk to Her, which is Pedro Almodovar, who I love.
I remember at the end of the 82 season, which was so long ago, guys, just so far in our past, there was a movie, maybe it was 48 Hours, that we thought might have been the record, but I think it was Contact, right, from the 97 season.
Yeah.
That's the lowest seeded Elite 8.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to break the record tonight. That's my hope. I know that you guys are Lilo and Stitch heads, but...
I definitely am. I'm a Lilo lad. But my question is...
And Mike is a Stitch bitch.
Neither one of these movies... Like, Lilo and Stitch wasn't really big in 2002, right? I feel like
it was the doldrums of Disney, and I feel like picked up later at home video probably.
Yeah, I feel like now we know Lilo and Stitch is cool. I mean, it's set in Hawaii. It's got an alien in it. But
A person of
What else
color
do
as a
you
lead.
do you feel like people are going to be like 2002 when you didn't talk about Lilo and Stitch? Whereas, like, we have a chance to watch one of our favorite movies from 2002 here.
Lilo and Stitch is, first of all, not even a musical, right? Also, what was
No.
Disney doing? Like, we used to make one good movie a year, but now we're going to make Lilo and Stitch and Treasure Planet. Like,
Yeah.
what is the plan?
They
here,
should have
guys?
combined those.
Yeah.
Made a Titan.
They lost their
AE.
feel completely.
Titan AE: The Ice Age should have been the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I have never seen Lilo and Stitch. I would like to change it someday, but today is not that day.
Mike, I love you taking over. We're not even voting anymore. You're just like, fuck this shit.
I feel like I can tell where the winds are going, and if I declare Talk to Her is moving on, that somebody will scream at me if we need
If
to vote.
it's wrong, yeah. We would definitely... One thing about our friendship is that we can always count on each other to scream if we're ever disappointed in something that happens.
Is there a
How
problem,
else do you
though?
know what a good bro?
Is there a problem, though? And this show is just started, so we haven't brought up this bit yet, that the sequel to Talk to Her is called Talk to Her, and that's the same
With a number two.
with the number 2, yeah. But
I
like
love
to
it.
say
Well,
it,
At
that's
that point,
the same
you have
title.
to say Talk to Her parenthetical 2005.
It's Talk to Her, : look who's talking to her now.
It's the babies.
It's the babies.
Yeah.
The
Look who's-
babies are talking to her.
Look who's talking. Such a bad question. It's the babies. That's
Yeah,
the
it's
answer to the question.
babies.
you always, you've got
idiot.
them center of frame.
All right, next battle, your 9th seed, one aforementioned Iced Age versus your 24th seed, which I think is also pretty icy, Insomnia.
Look, I said at the beginning of this episode that there's going to be a ton of hard-fought battles.
I know.
was wrong.
I'm trying, I'm usually the guy that calls for slam dunk. These have all been. I'm excited not to talk about Ice Age.
Oh, dude.
Scrat.
It-
Oh, wait, this is going differently?
It would be a blessing on our lives to not talk about Ice Age.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
got
man.
you got Dennis Leary.
Oh,
You got Ray Romano.
I do love Ray
These
Romano.
are actors
Oh,
people
the
the
Ice
kids
Age.
love.
If you rolled back the clock to the 1980s, Ryan, everyone's doing rails. Disco's the head of the club scene. Would you have in a million years guessed that like we would not have shook Dennis Leary? Like this is 2002, right? This should have ended it because Ice Age is terrible. But we like still have Leary in our lives.
I mean, he had the firefighter show for
Yeah,
many
he
years.
transitioned to dramatic actor.
yeah.
The person who wrote in a song while retarded people make retarded faces. This person, yeah, I'm surprised he's still going.
SSHOLE. Everybody.
He is ever since he's like been a young man, he's looked like you're like one of your aunts.
Mm-hmm. Just the drunk aunt with the big red nose. Johnny Legs also, Mike.
Johnny Legs also, of course, he's Sloth.
Have we done a Johnny Legs movie?
Holy
Friend of the
shit.
show, Johnny
That-
Legs.
That makes me want to do it. We like John Leguizamo so much on this show, and I think if he heard about it, he'd be like, "Are they being ironic?" We're not. We love you.
No, we love him. Yeah, we've skipped. We didn't do the year of Super Mario Brothers. We didn't do the year of the pest. We didn't do
You're
the year
being
of.
so mean. You're gonna make it seem like we don't like him. It's gonna be the one
I-
episode he tunes in.
Somewhere Johnny Legs just woke up from a nap. He's
Baz
like, never.
Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo and Juliet. Yeah, he's Tybalt.
And Moulin Rouge?
And
Moulin
he's in
Rouge.
Rouge. He
He's
plays Felice
Lautrec. No, I was saying movies I like of his. Is
Oh
that
yeah,
not
me too.
Yeah, everybody loves the pest.
He's the clown from the
Mike's a big pest head.
Spawn
It's
movie.
Spawn? Yes,
The
the Violator.
But seriously, any of these movies, if they're not good, it's not because Johnny Legs didn't show up and
No.
do the work. And
He
like,
gives 150%.
Yes.
Greg, do you remember who plays the wife of the Spawn character in the movie Spawn?
no.
Melinda Clark.
It's
Oh,
Melinda
wow.
Clark,
Yeah.
our good friend.
It's me and Mike's best friend. Second best friend. No, tied for first with Rachel Bilson.
Yes. I can't get yelled at by Rachel again. All right. I'm going to need to call it to a vote. Insomnia or Ice Age, because I know you guys forgot about Insomnia.
Thank you. We were just sitting
Did
here.
you hear that silence? There?
Yeah, that
Everyone
was-
being like, "What?"
Even the crickets were like,
I'm
what?
voting for John Leguizamo.
It's a classic battle where we couldn't remember either of the movies. The answer is Insomnia.
Greg,
The
you
answer-
voted for Johnny Legs?
Is Insomnia, starring John
All right.
Leguizamo.
Because you didn't want me to be an idiot and be
Nope.
like, yep, I
Yeah,
agree with Greg.
I don't trust it. I don't trust
you
it.
can never trust me. Insomnia moves on. Up next, your 61st seed,
Damn.
Damn.
Marvin Kala, versus your 36th seed, Bend It Like Beckham.
I really know nothing about this Lynn Ramsey movie.
I know, and it would be like, that's such a reach, isn't it?
Yeah, it made a lot of sense when it was going up against Harry Potter last year.
Mike, did you just put your hand in your mouth and say it like it was a secret?
How did you tell?
Did you tell? But I saw Bend It Like Beckham in 2002. I remember liking it. I remember being like, footy, huh? Keira Knightley, as you said.
Delightful. It's
I
so
am
charming.
Part of me is like, don't you still think the other one's better, though? The one that you've never seen, you don't know anything about? Just a Scottish road trip movie? That sounds so interesting.
And I like, as much as I like Bend It Like Beckham, the fact that I've seen it is hurting it because I know its limitations. Let's put it that way.
A lot of bending.
Not enough Beckham, honestly.
It's just
All right.
this is a movie about making sandwiches. The lead singer, the guy who sang "Loser," and how he folds the lunch meat.
Mm-hmm. Beck's ham.
But yeah, you got to bend it like Beckham. This is what I have to talk about, Greg, until you make a decision. I'm just going to keep doing these.
Okay, I'll say Bend It Like Beckham, Mike.
Ryan.
I'm going to do my favorite thing, Mike. Put it on you. It's Morvern Caller.
More Vern Collar. Is my vote as well. Bend It Like Beckham feels like a perfect Patreon episode.
Okay. Pay pigs rejoice.
And that would be a 61st seed could take it all down.
Let's do it.
That'd be so
Wouldn't that
Let's
be
go.
phenomenal? Your third seed, Scooby-Doo,
What?
which
No.
we were all very surprised about, versus your 20th seed, Battle Royale.
Is Scooby-Doo the third seed?
13th.
Oh, okay.
I misread. And by that I mean I forgot to read a number.
Yeah, man. Battle Royale. Like, you want to talk about how much you would influence the next 20 years after you?
Yeah.
Not only did the Hunger Games come out, but a really great comic called Avengers Academy.
Avengers
Something like
Academy. That was fucking awesome.
That just stole the Battle Royale logo. It's like, we're not even going to lie about this. Look, this is just Battle Royale. Scooby-Doo can... You know what?
Scooby-Doo can do, but
Yeah.
Sartre is smarter. But Jimmy Carter is smarter.
I don't even want Scooby-Doo on the bonus bracket.
Even if
What?
Scrappy-Doo is the bad guy, I still don't want to see him or hear from him.
He's also the villain of Battle Royale. Like, we're good. We get...
He was really the bad guy in most of 2002. I heard he helped plan 9/11.
I mean, we don't know. We don't know.
Show me
We're
proof
still
that he
trying to
did
get
not.
to the bottom of it. Can't do it because he did. All right, Battle Royale moves on. Your next battle before we take a break. Your 60th seed, 24-hour Party People,
Shit.
versus your 37th seed, A Walk to Remember.
I love how in that last
wow.
battle we were like, I'm not even going to think about this, Mike, until you check to see if Scooby-Doo is the third seed. Because
I know, you
no
both
way.
were like, boo.
The incredulity. No.
Because
that-
if I said third seed, you both would have been like, I think we have to vote
well,
for
I
the
mean,
third seed.
America demanded that we watch this movie. I guess because of Shaggy energy, the Shaggy Force.
Letterboxd is crazy, but it's not that crazy. What are these two movies?
24-hour Party People is the Steve Coogan-led, all of the musical underground of British shit.
I bet that's so good.
And then A Walk to Remember.
Okay, we're good, Mike. We can vote.
I think it's Shane West, it's Mandy Moore,
Shane
It's
West and
very
Mandy Moore is
2002.
O2 as fuck. That is
Yeah.
true.
and they have O2 haircuts.
Michael Winterbottom, who also directed one of my favorite underrated movies, which is Winterbottom and Coogan doing Tristram Shandy.
Yeah.
That's A Walk to Remember?
No, 24 Hours. I was done talking about Watch to Remember in the
yeah, I
second
think,
you
I
said
think
it,
that's
bro.
just over.
I thought you were like, fun fact about A Walk to Remember.
It is
There
Tristram
are no fun
Shandy.
facts about Walk to Remember.
She wears
All right.
overalls, Ryan.
Yeah,
You know she
look,
wears
Greg knows things
overalls.
about the movie. Ryan, what's your vote then?
It's
24-hour
party people, yes. The
Gregory?
Cougs.
The 24-hour party people. Sounds like us.
All right, I guess Mike's going to do a solo episode talking about A Walk to Remember.
You are a more man, as you pointed out last week.
I did. Thank you.
Hans Moore Man.
I'd go door to door just telling people about the gospel of Mandy Moore.
She's asked you to stop doing that.
Yeah, there's restraining orders. The 12th. Ooh, this one's. I guess it's not hard. I'm bummed that this is happening so quickly. 12th episode is adaptation. 12th episode. 21st seed is The Ring.
Mike, get a hold of yourself.
I can't. I'm still thinking about Mandy.
Oh man, I'm always hoping something like this happens, where very organically a horror movie gets moved out, and I don't even have to mention how I'm afraid to see it.
Mike, I'm gonna ignore Greg and talk to you. Is The Ring like good, like 3.5, 4 star? Like, is it a classic?
I have not seen it since high school, but I remember loving it. And I don't think I've told this story on the show, but I've told this story to you guys, right? About finding a tape a year before The Ring.
Oh, really?
They did guerrilla marketing, and I was leaving the Vans Warped Tour and grabbed a tape. It was just on the street, and went home and watched it. And the end, it just had a date. And for a year, I went, "What the fuck was that weird shit with the fly?" And then The Ring came out, and went, "Oh, their guerrilla marketing is they just dropped that tape in parking lots."
Have you seen Ringu?
Yes, probably around the same year, and they are blended together in my head, so I could not compare them.
I do
20
think
years ago.
I don't remember loving The Ring, but again, stock has gone up. I think that it's a pretty well-respected movie. I bet it's surefire. Mike, if you want to add this to the bonus bracket, I'm down. But adaptation is a fucking stone cold stone creamery classic.
It could take it all down.
I wouldn't be surprised, Mike. And when we do the final show, it's the most surprising night in Hollywood.
I've heard that.
How often when recording, we're like, all right, well, we thought about recording for 4 minutes. We deserve a muffin. That's nonstop. That's in adaptation.
Yes. I was trying to figure out the pun. There was no pun. You were just telling a story.
No, sometimes I just say words like a normal person.
Well, we have to take a break, because now I want muffins. When we come back, more battles.
Hey guys, thank you so much for listening so far. And let me just tell you that everything ahead of this commercial is much better than what came before it. That's my guarantee. While I have you here, let me tell you about a website. It's called yourpopfilter.com. And it's everything you need that's related to Pop Filter. Everything Mike, everything Ryan, everything Greg, everything Cassie, everything is there at yourpopfilter.com. While you're there, go to yourpopfilter.com/Amazon. Make that your new Amazon bookmark and do your shopping from there. That way, we get a little piece of the action, and Amazon doesn't. Make sure you're also listening to everything that Pop Filter has to offer, which includes the Superhero Show, a podcast that covers every single TV show that's based on a comic book or comic book property, and Movie of the Year, where we sit down and try and figure out what is the single greatest movie of any given year. That's Superhero Show, that's Movie of the Year, and that's yourpopfilter.com. Rate, subscribe, review. Bye!
All right, gentlemen, this one is going to knock your socks off because it's a real, I'd say, battle of childhoods.
Now, Mike, Greg and I are both wearing socks with pretty tight sandals strapped on. So
Crocs for me, Ryan.
This is going to take a lot.
Well, I'm going to do what I can because it is Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers versus Jackass the movie.
Oh, boy. Look, Jackass is kind of a documentary.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, they made like 3 really good episodes of the show and put it together. And I just
shut your dirty mouth.
It's not. I think it's the wrong format for this movie. Like, are we gonna get in there? Are we gonna talk about deeper things? Like, I think it's unsaid in the text of the film, but we're supposed to presume.
But pain is the only way these men know how to talk to each other.
I mean, no pain, no gain, if you think about it.
Okay, I hadn't. But now we said it, I guess. Sense.
I would be down for this, Mike. Jackass the movie, Bowling for Columbine, and one more in the State of Documentary in 02 as a bonus episode.
Yes.
Could we do Dogtown and the Z-Boys?
Dogtown and Z-Boys, Mike, we have our 3.
There you go.
And we just do a episode about docs?
Docs, yeah. I think that would be awesome.
What's up,
because
Doc?
Those 3 movies really did. Documentaries are forever changed, or at least changed up until this day that we're recording because of those 3 movies.
Do you ever feel jealous of the listeners because they get to just experience the show and they don't?
And all the production meetings on live on the
just
air?
the on-air. Wow, those guys really think out loud a lot at each other.
Hey, listeners, if you're ever tired of not thinking out loud, put a fucking microphone in front of you, man. It does it all.
You never think, you're just loud.
Greg, can I ask you this? And I know we're only in the second round. Two Towers has a lot in front of it, but were you nervous coming in here? Did you think that like it might be chambered of secrets like we did last week?
Yeah, I mean, we have, with few exceptions, Spider-Man is one of them, but we've steered away from anything that felt like it's not just had a sequel, but was like part of a series of movies. But I think because the reason I thought we would end up watching it is we watched the first one.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to end up watching the third one because it won.
Precedent.
And so we'd probably be watching Attack of the Clones if in our 99 season we did Phantom Menace.
I think so, because I think we'd want to just like, it's such a good point of comparison to another year, right? And so I thought we would probably end up watching it.
You know what? When I was a kid, Star Wars was the thing, and everything else was so far below it. It was crazy. And now, since 99, it feels like Star Wars only exists to be blown out of the water by something else.
Yeah.
And now it's MCU, and Lord of the Rings was the first to do it.
You know what I think Star Wars benefited from? So many movies that only exist because of Star Wars, but they all shit the bed in a completely different way.
Such fucking diarrhea.
So they made Star Wars look better like every time they came out. And you're right, nowadays, things that are better than any Star Wars has come out recently come
because
out every
of Star
single
Wars,
day.
but yeah.
Plus, then Star Wars started doing what the Star Wars copiers was doing, which is shit
Right.
the bed. All right, you ready for the next battle?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Your 50th seed, Russian Ark,
Oh, fuck.
which is an experimental oneer.
One
No.
One shot,
not
one kill.
I would not use the experimental word, but yeah, a wander through a St. Petersburg museum.
It's not experimental, but there's no real plot, and people are just ghosts talking to each other and talking to the art.
I mean, that's a good question, but I just think of experimental as like completely unstructured, like video essay nightmare. And
Gotcha.
this is maybe
Not
you're
that.
right. Maybe it is, but
Not quite that, though.
I wasn't trying to use it derogatorily. I guess I didn't know what a loaded word it was for you.
well, I'm just trying to have a conversation with my friend on a podcast. Apologize, won't
gross.
happen again.
Ryan, you can talk
Versus
to me
your-
anytime you want to.
18th seed, the experimental, I want to say third feature film by M. Night Shyamalan, Signs.
Let's get Signs the fuck out, gentlemen.
Yeah, I think science stock has gone up, but the way you described Russian Ark, that sounded so interesting.
Can I hack tag the fuck out of this? How did they not know there was water on the planet? Need I
Yeah.
say more?
That's a hack tag that
It's like
everybody's
the whole
allowed to
thing
have.
is water.
It's like
Idiots.
much like everything on Earth.
Go to Mars.
80% of the 80% of everything on the Earth, including humans, is made of water. I do not understand how that works. To me, everyone, including the Earth and all humans, should look like the Liquidator or Hydra Man. Liquidator, a Darkwing Duck villain. Hydra Man, a
course,
Spider-Man
we
villain. But we don't look like that, so I don't understand how we're all water.
It's 80% water, 20% friendship, 30% grinding, I think, to quote Cassie.
Just hustle harder.
Oh, that kind of grinding. Okay.
Not like bump end. All right, up next, your 7th seed, Punch Drunk Love, versus your 39th seed, Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron.
Spirit, you came on hard. You tried really good.
These lined up interestingly.
What if PTA directed Spirit as well?
Oh, then I'm in.
Stallion
I
of the
think
Cimarron.
It would have a shot.
Up next, I'm saying one is moving on and was going to the bonus bracket, and that is Minority Report and 8 Mile.
Oh, Minority Report with a bullet.
Yeah, man. Like, and
Yeah.
I believe this, even though I hadn't said it in a while, Mike, until you confirmed it in the last episode. 8 Mile is an interesting movie. It's of its time. It's not a great movie. It's not
There's
Great
awesome
Mile.
scenes. It's not Great Mile. They don't call it for that reason. Yeah, I just a red ball just rolled down the Rube Goldberg thing into my hand. Minority Report's going to win this season. So yeah, 8 Mile goes to the bonus.
Holy shit!
He's seen the future.
All right. Your 3rd seed is Catch Me If You Can. And your 35th seed, oh, this sucks, is My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
This does suck. Man, a lot of these were just meat. Like, they were so
Yeah, a
easy
lot
to
of
decide.
Spirits, Stallion of the Cimarrons. Does this mean, I don't want to do the math, but it's Spielberg versus Spielberg next round?
It
Doesn't
Might
matter.
be.
Right now we're talking about My Big Fat Greek Wedding. And I think that Catch Me If You Can, an O2 movie that takes place in like the 50s and has that sort of like 50s boomer decor, like it's just so much better. Like My Big Fat is a phenomenon for sure, but ultimately a good, if not good minus, rom-com.
Which
I
is
think-
perfect for Patreon.
It just doesn't quite have the same energy, the same verve, the same like filmic quality, I guess.
Spielberg in 2002 said, I want to make 2 movies this year. Tom Hanks, Tom Cruise, Leonardo DiCaprio. Please gather around me.
And they were like, okay.
I heard he just described the plots and then broke straws in his hand, and then they had to choose straws for who would be in which movie.
Tom Hanks recently said he's only been in 4 consequential movies. I think this is one of them.
Yeah. You know what that is? You know what he's describing? A Rushmore. He wants to do a Mount Rushmore of Tom Hanks movies.
I don't think
He wants
Means
everybody to
Road
argue
Perdition
about it.
Is another one of the 4 ones because obviously he means Joe versus Volcano.
Sure.
Guy with 2 red
Burbs.
shoes. The Burbs.
He got 2 of them out early.
Okay, you know what?
Burbs.
He's right. He's made some real stinkeroos.
He was also in a made-for-TV like Dungeons and Dragons,
Mazes and Monsters?
Mazes and Monsters. So
Okay.
that's one of the 4. Oh,
He was also
named
in
it.
Bosom Buddies, though.
The Terminal.
Oh yeah.
What's the one with the stupid hair? Angels and Demons?
Yep. The sequel
That's
to.
the sequel to the Da Vinci
Oh, yeah,
Code.
the Da Vinci Code.
We found more Da Vinci Code.
I've only made 4 good movies, and one of them is the sequel to the Da Vinci Code.
Sorry, we couldn't get there with the Da Vinci Code.
We tried real hard. It's kind of a Terminator 2 situation.
Did you guys hear that he wrote a fictional book about life in Hollywood? It's about a movie that's about to be made that's based on a comic book, and all of the characters are different, like eras or aspects of his life. It's supposed to
Wow.
be really good.
Is it out?
Soon, I think.
That's too far. I'm going to forget about it.
Yeah.
All right. Next up is, this feels fitting in a way, I'd say 2 thrillers. Unfaithful, somebody's pick, versus Panic Room.
Ooh, Unfaithful's way better than Panic Room. Way, way better.
I
I love Fincher, but this is like 2 different worlds.
Mike, if you just want to take this one, because I just think that if it's Fincher, like to me, Fincher is like close second tier to PTA. I love Adrian Lyne, and I love Unfaithful, but I'm gonna have to go Panic Room.
I'm going to pick Mike's pick.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I think Panic Room goes straight to that bonus bracket.
What are we at now? 40 bonus
The
episodes?
burgeoning
Don't
bonus
ask me.
bracket.
It's bursting at the seams. All right, this makes me feel good because I know where I'm going to vote because I have the information before you guys. Your 6th seed, The Pianist, versus your 38th seed, 25th Hour.
Oh shit!
I'm happy. This is perfect.
This is like I was really nervous. Nothing is gonna kick out this Roman Polanski movie, and this is it. Like,
Yeah, dude.
Wait,
Spike Lee.
Pop Filter Hall of Famer, Spike Lee.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Pop Filter Hall of Famer Roman Polanski.
I slipped him in there when you guys weren't looking.
Yeah.
And you-
Very Roman Polanski of you.
You built that bust as god damn it.
Sorry, everybody.
But yeah, this is it. Like a movie about World War II, which we have a lot of, and I think this is a masterpiece, versus a movie about this guy's 24 hours before he has to go back to jail that deals with 9/11 in I would say the best way that any piece of art has since then. And I'm including that movie where Robert Pattinson just finds out that he's on the top level watching the plane.
Remember
attack the
me?
tower.
And then they're like, movie over. Have a good day. Guess where he's standing, viewer?
Guess what year it was? Bet you didn't know that.
We'll write it on the board for you.
Yeah, man, this is
Heck yeah.
Spike
He's lined
Lee.
up perfectly.
Kick out. I'll say that The Pianist should be on the bonus round. I don't expect good things from that.
It's just got so much ick around it.
I'm writing it.
Mike, are you doing that thing where the pen is not even touching the paper?
He was trying to do like I'm writing voice.
Mhm.
Oh, here I go, writing.
I'll write my
something down
novel.
with my pencil.
That is how I write. You guys know how I write.
Also, congratulations to us, because that's now 2 episodes into the 2002 season where we have just said pianist and no jokes about that word.
I know, seriously. And 2 episodes in a row where we've talked at length about 9/11.
Well, again, that's going to be every week, week in, week out. You know what, listeners? If you don't want to hear about 9/11, skip a season. It's 02, baby. What else was on everybody's mind? All right, your final battle of the second round. Gangs of New York versus Chicago.
This sucks, but Gangs of New York.
Oh, wow. I actually...
Feel the opposite.
I think this is mediocre Scorsese. I think this is incredible Daniel Day-Lewis, but everything is, including Gandhi, a classic DDL movie. But yeah, I actually think Chicago is a more successful movie.
I think it owned the year more. It's talked about still.
It's so good.
It's good. I want to watch it. I've never seen Gangs of New York on Broadway.
I guess for me it just is Daniel Day-Lewis. Also Cole Meany's in it, I believe. That's pretty cool.
But there's also Cameron Diaz doing that Irish accent. Somebody
Wait.
stop her.
Switching my vote. Chicago moves on.
Welcome to the Gangs of New York.
Okay, gentlemen, we're going to take a break because your next round, round 3, is every single battle is going to hurt.
Yeah, this is going to be rough.
Nobody feels good. I love that we created this monster. When we come back.
Well, that is very, very funny. Or very sad. And perhaps now you have something to think about. Or very problematic, and perhaps we have something to think about. But in any event, I'm sure you have some reaction to what you're listening to. So why not check us out on the social media? You can go to Instagram or Twitter and find us at YourPopFilter. Email contacts@YourPopFilter. Hey, everybody. Keep watching them movies.
All right. Movie tiers. This is where it hurts. Round 3 sucks.
But Mike, is this where if
Your
you
first
win,
battle.
you're in?
If you win, you're in.
Okay.
If you win, you do get an episode about
And
you.
if you lose, you go into the 75 bonus bracket.
No, I'm looking at our bylaws. If you get this far and don't make it, you are dust to us
Wow.
forever.
What a weird law to make. Laws are weird.
I know.
Laws are weird, aren't they?
Laws are crazy.
Laws, huh?
So Byzantine wizards make them. It is Spider-Man versus the Bourne Identity.
That's easy.
See, this is the one. I think Spider-Man first seed, bigger movie. Clearly, I think Bourne Identity would be a more interesting show.
I don't like. There's no movie that changed the course of where we're at today than this movie. I know that X-Men was in the 2000s. I don't count Blade, just because it was more of a horror movie and not the big superhero epic that we're looking for.
Well, Blade was closer to the Equilibrium Matrix style action
Right.
movies than comic book movies. Even though I've argued that it started the comic.
But I
book
think
craze.
X-Men could prove that it could be done. Spider-Man perfected it. I try not to be biased when it comes to Spider-Man, but it's clearly Spider-Man.
Also, Macho Man Randy Savage is in this as Bonesaw.
Bonesaw's
Yeah, we're
ready?
gonna.
Bonesaw's ready. Are you ready? So
Are we gonna do a disservice to his memory by not voting for it?
well, not me. No, I voted for Spider-Man and Bonesaw and Macho Man Randy Savage.
I don't vote for Spider-Man. I do vote for Bonesaw. All right, your next battle. Your 40th seed, Talk to Her, versus your 24th seed, Insomnia.
Okay, so here's one. Mike, may I?
Ryan, go ahead.
Here's one. This is a movie that I've been defending the whole night, and I'm going to vote against it, and I don't even care if it goes in the bonus bracket.
Insomnia?
Yeah.
So this is the only Christopher Nolan you like, but you're still like, meh. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I love Memento, and I really like Dunkirk. Those are my top two. But this is, I think, an underrated one. But I don't think it needs a podcast from us.
Where versus Talk to Her, I will talk to anybody at any time about a Pedro Almodovar movie. I've been told.
Oh
to
yeah,
stop.
I mean, this is one where any Almodovar movie is going to do this, and I understand that it's maybe not burning up the charts. Mike, what did you say? It was like the 40th seed, and
40th
maybe
seed,
it doesn't have the biggest thumbprint on pop culture right now. But I do agree with you, Mike, when you say that this could be 2 episodes, this could be 3 episodes. I haven't even seen the movie in a while, and I know that like the way that he makes a movie is fucking catnip for us. We have not done a Pedro movie before. I don't think, right? And this at the end of this episode, if we are lucky enough to do a Talk to Her episode, we'll be like, 2 more, please.
Every time I see an Almodovar movie, my opinion about movies changes.
So there you go, Greg. Argue against that one.
Pumped.
I had no intention of arguing against that. This is of all the movies we talked about tonight. There's 2 that have me exceptionally excited, and they don't come from my own experience watching them. They come from just hearing about them tonight, and this is one of the 2.
Well, I bet I have another one of those 2 for you right
you don't
now,
know,
Greg.
Mike. You have no idea.
Yeah, what the fuck, Mike? It's so presumptuous.
61st seed, Marvin Kala, versus your 20th seed, Battle
that
Royale.
wasn't the one, Mike. Huh? You feel?
I thought it was Morven
This
Collie.
guy feels like a stupid idiot now.
Based on how you said the title, Mike,
I do.
You don't think it's Scotland? You think it's like Philly?
Wales? Oh, okay.
It's from. I thought it was a bunch of sailors from 100 years ago made it. The sea, Morven.
We've already talked about, or maybe in the last episode, how much we love Lynn Ramsey, very capable filmmaker, but this movie has no thumbprint on the current popularity.
We don't even know how to say the name.
Yeah, I think it's,
and
Lynn
that's not our
Ramsey.
fault.
But Battle Royales, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to show too much leg, reveal too much behind the curtain, but I'm not just doing funny voices because I'm so good at voices.
No,
It hides that I have no idea how to say the name of that movie.
It's good of you to come clean, Mike, because our listeners are probably shocked right now.
you're like a self-aware Michael Scott.
That is the meanest and
what
truest thing you've
a
ever said to
nightmare
me.
proposition.
Seriously, to know
Yeah,
that you're in a
To
prison.
be that and know it.
I'm seriously like a cold chill went down my back.
You just said a curse at me. All right, so Battle
yeah.
Royale moves on.
In fact, I think you can call this whole
Fuck
bracket
yes.
a Battle Royale.
Well, I know how to argue why it should win at the end. Your 60th seed. Man, a lot of 60s moving on. 24-hour party people. Hey, I liked talking about you for the last 2 weeks, 24-hour party people, because you're up against their 12th seed, Adaptation. A movie made for us bozos.
Yeah, dude. I'm so excited we're going to do a show about adaptation, talk about it, and probably we'll do a bonus show about 24-hour party people.
I'm not excited about doing a show about adaptation. I see me in it so much. It's hard to watch because I'm so much in it. It's about a genius, brilliant screenwriter, perfect person who makes no mistakes and is very socially popular. So it's hard for me. But the other one, bonus show.
What if instead of doing a podcast about adaptation,
Oh shit, Greg! I like where you're going here.
we just remade it, just the three of us, shot for
But
shot.
But shot for shot in audio form, it is Pop Filter's first fictional podcast. Adaptation, :
Open on that guy walking through the mangroves with dysentery.
Greg, how turned on do you get when I say the word simulacrum?
I like it. I like to hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
I feel like, oh, right now I'm using my education. But still,
All right, here's
I still
another
just think
one.
of the Matrix when you say it.
Are you guys ready for the next
sorry,
battle?
we're just talking amongst ourselves.
I know. It was weird to listen to your characters drop, and suddenly you were just Ryan and Greg. The Lord of the Rings, : The Two Towers versus Russian Ark, : That Haunted Museum.
No.
This was the other one, the Russian Ark movie.
Sometimes you run into a buzzsaw, and that buzzsaw is a bunch of friggin' elves and
Keep
orcs.
in mind, the Two Towers has Gandalf the Grey and Gandalf the White.
I have to assume that
Oh man, he runs the color gamut.
in the history of Russian history, there's two characters also like that, and they're probably both in Russian Ark.
Yeah, like Rasputin and.
Yeah, definitely Rasputin the Black and Rasputin the darker black.
I'm even eviler than this guy and harder to kill as well.
Hey, Mike, do you have a second bonus show bracket going that has the actual movies we're going to do?
Yeah, I've several lists running, and I definitely know the difference between.
Are you
all
doing
of
that
them.
thing where you say that you are, but you're just riding in the air?
No, I'm typing in a very real cloud, Ryan.
This is the worst possible thing. The worst possible battle for me because Greg was going to be my lead-in to get Russian Ark into the Elite Eight, and it came against fucking Lord of the Rings. And also, when I listen to these two, it seems weird to vote against this movie that a lot of people say, right, that is the best of the three. Do people say that anymore, or is it just Fellowship now?
I think it has been a different movie at different times. I personally think Fellowship is better. I think that there's just more interesting stuff in it, and it's a little bit more focused. But and then obviously the winner of the Academy Award is the third one. But I think most people like the second one the best. Yeah.
But the third one won the Academy Award because they were like,
Crap, we forgot to give
we
this.
want to give it to the whole
Academy
series.
I mean, they said that in in this year's Oscars. They were like, next year, Peter Jackson, we got you.
He was like, "Thank you. I look forward to it." Does anybody want to see Frighteners?
I fucking
I have
love
so many
Frighteners.
DVDs in the trunk of my car. If anybody wants the Frighteners.
I can get you a great price on like 10, maybe 15 Frighteners
Man.
DVDs.
Your late 90s Mike, who was just loving Michael J. Fox, running back and forth between my Frighteners DVD and my Spin City collection.
Man. Maybe stop a little time to watch some Doc Hollywood.
The Secret of My Success. Classic.
Classic. All right, so Lord of the Rings moves on.
But we should watch.
I mean, it's about the Twin Towers.
But
the year
I
after
do
it
want to say
happened.
right now, I don't know what this means. If this has any meaning, what I'm about to say. But Russian Ark is the number 1 on the bonus bracket.
Yeah.
Ignore all.
Yeah.
Shut
It's
up.
on,
Let's
it's on the
remember
short
that.
list. No, we both want to see it.
No, Mike is making fun of me.
I also want to see it.
You'll,
But Greg, it's the number 1 seed in the bonus bracket.
why are you
Remember
making?
that.
How are you doing 2 quotation things with 2 hands and the jerk off motion with a 3rd hand?
All with your voice.
I have 4 hands when I need them. All right, you guys are not ready for this one. Or maybe you are.
I'm hooked.
Your number 7 seed. Punch. I like to leave people
I
in
gotta know.
suspense.
The clickbait.
Your number 7 seed Punch Drunk Love versus your number 10 seed Minority Report.
This isn't.
Should we
honestly,
just be
this
doing
is-
16 movies per year?
That's what Ryan, we never do this off air. You weren't in the room yet, and Greg and I were looking at the list and said we should do 16
a
fucking
bonus
movies.
for every single one. I mean, there are supposed to be hard decisions. Those hard decisions don't mean that we have to not do shows about them.
I'll tell you this right now. I'll forego bonus episodes if we do all 16 movies.
And then they're all in the bracket.
Yeah. But we have to
But
watch
so-
them.
But then
we're
we're
just-
invalidating the current show that we're making,
Okay.
right?
No.
No, it's all about the process. We talked about how the listeners love on-air meetings. This is just the most upended
listeners-
Also,
on-air
let's
meeting
point out
hear
that the
about that.
listeners never pointed that
Yeah.
out. We pointed out that they
We
love
tell them like almost every week how much they love hearing our meetings be recorded.
And that's for the non-Patreon. The pay pigs get a whole another.
Yeah, the pay pigs get legit.
that's where
They're
we
like,
get loose.
They've met Greg, Ryan, and Mike.
well,
They've heard our real voices.
I do want to do a show about
Okay.
about Russian Ark. So I guess I would agree to that.
If we say this is now a 16 bracket, we're doing episodes for all of these, it means there are no bonus episodes. There is a Patreon only episode, and then 16 of these movies.
Are we really having this conversation right now?
We are.
Or it's time to vote. You know what? We're gonna go through this, and then we'll
Yeah,
decide at
because
the
we might
end
as well have
what
it
we're
be that
doing.
we still do the voting.
Right.
That's the whole point of this episode.
I mean, I love Minority Report, but again, like Spielberg being my favorite director of all time is not going to touch a PTA movie.
And see, for me, it's like this is barely a PTA movie. Like he did direct it. It's got the notes. It's got good performances.
You call this movie Mr. Deeds with pudding cups, pudding coupons.
But for me, Minority Report way more interesting, way more like impact on I think like today. For me, it's Minority Report. And it's not particularly difficult.
But with no Punch Drunk Love, we would not have Uncut Gems.
That's true. And with no Uncut Gems,
Greg, does thinking about a different movie change your
would
mind
we
right now?
even know who Julia Fox or Kevin Garnett were if we didn't have that movie?
That's true.
Facts. All right. I loved Punch Drunk Love when
No
I saw
way.
it. I've thought about Minority Report over the last 20 years. My vote's
Holy
Minority
shit.
Report.
Yeah.
This is unprecedented.
I feel like we just made that 16 thing happen.
Sold. All right. Up next, Catch Me If You Can versus Unfaithful. And before you vote, gentlemen, one of our picks has never made it to the Elite Eight, so maybe you help
Catch Me If
Mikey
You Can.
out.
Yeah, catch me if you can, Mike.
Yeah, it's also my vote.
It would have been fun, but come on.
Your 38th seed, 25th Hour, versus your 22nd seed, Chicago.
I could see Chicago as an Elite Eight, even though it's an Oscar winner, because typically that's an insult on this show. We're way cooler
Yeah.
than the Oscars. In the last round we talked very heavily and kindly about Chicago, but I think that 25th Hour is, I think, in my top 2 of this year.
Chicago defeated New York with the gangs of New York, but then Second City once again, because I'm sorry, 25th Hour is
Wow,
the
when you
superior
kill New
movie.
York, a different New York will come back
Yeah,
and kill
dude,
you.
it just pops right back up.
This is why if you beat the, let's say, Mets in the World Series, then you have to fight the Jets, and that's it's really hard.
And if you defeat the Jets, you're up against
But
the
you have
Sharks.
to, but when you play the Jets, you have to play them at football, which
Mm-hmm.
is not actually their strongest sport.
What if they were just a kick-ass hockey team?
You know what's funny? You could say that almost any year about the Jets, and you'd be totally right.
All right, gentlemen, do you want to hear your Elite Eight? Or do you want to keep fucking jerking each other off about
All right, Mike,
sports?
settle down. I want to hear the Elite Eight. What I definitely don't want to hear is the 8 that just lost, because that's going to make me sad in my heart.
Well, your Elite Eight are Spider-Man, Talk to Her, Battle Royale, Adaptation, The Lord of the Rings, Two Towers, Minority Report, Catch Me If You Can, and 25th
2
Hour.
Esteban Spielbergos.
Gentlemen, we have done it again. I guarantee you 2002's movie of the year is in that. I guarantee you it's one of those 8 movies.
I guarantee you. Well, before I let you go, I'm turning my key. No bonus episodes, 16 bracket movie. I'm in if we unanimously vote for it.
Greg?
I say you decide, big guy. I'm along for whatever we do. I like all the choices.
All right, so we already know that this season is going to be interrupted by the Pop Filter Best of the Year shows. So it would be basically doing like 8 bonus shows, but the 8 bonus shows are no longer bonus. They're in.
They matter.
I mean, does this set precedent, Mike? Well, I mean, nothing sets precedent because Mike is just changing things willy-nilly.
No, I swear, honestly, we have done some years where there's no way that we would want the top 16 to be the
We're so
we
glad
did.
to get it down to 8.
Yeah, I really think so.
Every season is different, even though we do remember the last season's happened. The board slipped me a memo right before we started that said, make this your own, baby. So,
Fuck, that board is weird. Mike, what
They
are
are weird.
Losing 8?
you're losing 8 that might matter again. The Bourne Identity, Insomnia, Morven Caller, 24-Hour Party People, Russian Ark, Punch Drunk Love, Unfaithful, and Chicago.
We have to. Let's fucking do it.
Then what we should do then is we should do a
Yes.
losers bracket, and then the winner of the losers bracket should
Fights
be
off
double elimination, Ryan.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know
It's
what that
sports,
means,
Mike.
but I'm
It's
for
sports,
it.
Mike. It means you have to lose twice, and they keep telling you so that you don't accidentally think somebody loses and they're gone.
Yeah. I'm sure that last week we talked about a ton of episodes or ton of movies that we wanted to give an episode to, but I think this is the right way
They're
to go.
gone.
All right, let's do it then.
The only way you hear about a movie that's not one of those 16 is if you're a Patreon subscriber. Go over to yourpopfilter.com/Patreon. Nope, flip that. Patreon.com/yourpopfilter. And you will definitely hear probably about my big
No,
fat
no,
freak.
that was last
it's
week's
over.
episode. Last
What?
week's episode was 64 to 32.
No, I know. I'm saying a Patreon-only episode that we always do, where they get a bonus movie.
Right.
Hey, we've talked a lot over the last 4 hours. It makes sense that nobody understands each other anymore. So you know what, listeners? History is made today, and keep watching those movies.